Got some notes here. Oh, which was this is our home base.
We're gonna start right here.
That's home base. Okay, well, we have a picture of your mom there for us to.
Now, when you say home base, are you talking about Saturday Night Live? Because home base is like the main stage, or it's the main thing. That is a Saturday Night Live reference.
It's actually a term that they use.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I invented it too. Like same way Donald Trump invented fake news. 30 years after somebody else had said that.
Okay. All right. Should we include all of this?
No. Well, yes. Why not?
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Old Naturalist. My name is Brandon Brzezinski, and as always, I am sitting next to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Eric Durbin.
I can't believe it, but yes, I am the old naturalist, and I'm certainly old, and I guess I'm a naturalist.
Yeah.
I am Eric Durbin, so.
Now, here's a question. Have you gotten out and looked at orchids yet?
I have been so busy with gardening, helping Mrs. Old Naturalist.
Yes.
With the garden. No.
Well, the garden itself can be, in the naturalist realm. So.
Yes, it is. As you get older, you spend more time sitting on in your rocking chair on the porch, whittling, and then listening to the flicker or the cardinal calling in the tree line.
Yes, that's right.
That's the stage I'm in now. But in the past, Brendan, I traveled the world. I did.
That's true, and that's going to be the kind of the focus for our episode today. I asked the old naturalist to kind of think about some of the rarest animals.
Yes, rarest
that he has ever seen, maybe I think Chris Manzi and maybe Elliot will be upset at us because every time I talk about birds, a lot of times Chris will say, well, what about plants? Now, in your travels, you care about plants at all?
I love plants, and especially, I actually have traveled with Elliot and Chris quite a lot.
Yeah.
And Elliot Kramer is just a encyclopedia of tropical plant knowledge. He really has a good grasp of all these commoner species that you see when you're on the bird trail. Actually, I couldn't help myself. I did include one plant.
Oh, you did?
In this list. I know you asked for animals.
I know you sent this to me, right? Did it have the plant?
I sent you an outline. There was at the very...
Okay, maybe
It was going to be my closing.
Okay.
But I couldn't help myself because what is rarer than being extinct, right?
It's true.
And there is a plant which you can see easily in Northwest Ohio that is extinct in the wild. And that's Franklinia. Franklinia?
Hang on a second. You could have seen easily?
No, you can see easily today. It's extinct in the wild, but it is a very not very common, but it's a well-known specimen plant in gardens.
Oh, so like a cultivated version of it?
Yes, it's not been changed much. It's not a cultivar exactly. It's a wild.
But the genetics aren't the same.
They are the same.
But it's not growing in the wild. No. I'm perplexed at this, but
the seeds were collected in 1736.
Okay.
And planted in a garden in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. Oh my gosh, what was the guy's name? Famous naturalist. But he's old, who cares?
Be careful. You said he's old, who cares? You might kind of write yourself out of the show.
But it died off in wild, but those garden plants, once he grew in his garden, were propagated and sent around to his friends and then around the world.
Now it's called Franklinia, is what you said?
Yes, it was named the discoverer named it after Ben Franklin.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's in his honor.
Yeah. What does the plant look like?
Beautiful. It's a shrubby. Forms the side of a shrub, but the blossoms are large white blossoms with a bright yellow center, and they're lovely. And I because we can do things with
we're going to see it
in the mix in the room studio.
Right.
We can stick that in there.
Now, How about habitat? If you had been alive when it was still around.
It was. They found it in a little. Oh my gosh, I should have prepared.
We can edit this out.
Yeah, we need to put the authors, the discoverers' names in there, father and son, famous American naturalists. You can see a big picture of them right now.
We'll have them, edited and in there. Yeah.
And what was the question?
Habitat.
Oh, they found it in one little tiny riverside grove somewhere in Georgia. And when they went back to find it again, they didn't have good GPS in those days.
Right.
They couldn't find it. They never found it again. They never found
But they collected seeds then.
They had collected seeds and put them, sent them to, I think, to another friend in Philadelphia who grew them and propagated them. Yes.
So because they couldn't find it in the wild, but people still have it in their gardens. It's still
available.
It's still available, but it's also still considered to be extinct. Is that right? Extinct in the wild.
Extinct in the wild is a term of art.
Okay.
It's extinct in the wild.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we already began.
We've used up 20 minutes.
Yeah. Just on one plant.
We'll circle back. We're going to circle back to the animals.
Yeah. Let's start with our first animal.
First of all, your question, rarest animals
that you've seen.
That I've seen.
Yeah.
This is going to be animals that I've seen. But the hard part is what is rare.
Right.
Because of course, right away I am a guy. I pretend to be a scientist of sorts. So what does rare mean? It could mean it could mean very low numbers.
Okay.
It occurs in very low numbers, or it could be that it's very seldom seen. Nobody ever sees it, so they think it's rare because they never run across it. And it could be just very difficult to see. It's out there, but nobody can. It's only at the middle of the night or whatever.
Well, I was going to say a lot of nocturnal species. I think the general public would probably be.
Yeah. And then because when I started thinking about it and making lists and trying to figure out how rare some of these, I came up with possibilities, and then I wanted to check them out. Are they legitimately rare or not? The source I went to make that determination, sort of the gold standard, is the International Union of Conservation of Nature. That's the IUCN. Red List of threatened species. Mm-hmm. And they keep very careful track of declining species, or actually all species, I think, and try to tell which ones are in trouble and to warn the world that species are in trouble. And so they divide things up into extinct, critically endangered, what are the other categories? Endangered and vulnerable. Mm-hmm. In order of rarity. Obviously, extinct is it's as rare as you can get.
We have a visitor.
Yeah.
If you get back to the Franklinia, I can fill in a few details from Michael Durr's book.
We're going to circle back at that. I think that's, but
we'll have to have a guest appearance. We'll have to have Diane step into the picture.
Yeah, actually, maybe
step between us right now.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty quick. Should we just while we're talking?
Yeah. Just go ahead. Come right here.
And put your book down there.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think you probably
a great resource, Michael Durr's Manual of Woody Landscape
now,
Plants.
We getting her on tape here? Yes, we.
I think she'll be loud enough. But if you wanna,
she's on the Franklinia Alatamaha. As
that name of the river where it was found.
Okay.
That valley.
The story's been widely told how John Bartram found this plant in 1770 along the banks of the Alatamaha River.
In Georgia.
In Georgia.
I got that part right.
Collected a few for his garden, and strangely, this plant's never been seen in the wild since 1790.
That's crazy.
And supposedly all plants in commerce today are derived from Bartram's original collection. The species may have been sighted again in 1803 in the wild, but Michael Durr says that's not gospel.
1803. Who knows?
There you have it.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
See, she is a horticulturist. She
is
a botanist. She
our researcher, our horticulturalist researcher waiting in the wings.
She sits around reading that Durr book in the evenings. I'm trying to watch movies,
right?
And she's reading Dur.
Just a little bit of light reading there.
Yeah.
All right, so
yes.
we've defined the rarity.
Yeah, so the most rare species, what animals have I seen that are extinct? Well, by golly, I have seen a species of animal that is extinct. The golden toad.
The golden toad.
The golden toad of Costa Rica.
Okay.
Found up in the highlands on the Continental Divide in Monteverde, which is a famous
Cloud forest.
Cloud Forest Preserve.
Yep.
Founded this little village was founded by American Mormons. No, not Mormons. What were they? We're gonna have to stop this tape again.
That one I don't know.
No, anyway, they did not want to be drafted in 1948. The war was over, and they were not going to go and put their names on the list for. It was peacetime. That was even before Korea.
Right.
They thought it's totally wrong. In wartime maybe, but Mennonite.
Okay.
Was it the group? And these young men, some of them went to jail because they wouldn't register. And so they said, we got to get out of this country. It's going to be a fascist state. Little did they know. Anyway.
So Monteverde is northwest of San Jose.
Yes, have you been there, by the way?
I haven't been to Monteverde. My sister has. But...
It used to be up a really winding gravel road that was just an adventure to get up there. And I've driven it in that gravel road a few times. It's gotten, I think, mostly paved now. It's not
too bad.
Not too bad. And the accommodations were terrible. Oh, but it was great. It was great. And you'd get up to this farming community. It's a dairy community. The Mennonites and plus the Costa Ricans had this great little town. And they made cheese and they made homemade bread. And you'd stay at a little lodging thing, and then each morning you'd climb up into the cloud forest and hike up to the Continental Divide. We could see the Caribbean slope on one side, the Pacific slope on the other side, and there were things up there you wouldn't believe. Quetzals and kinkajous and wonderful things. And they also had golden toads.
We'll have a picture of...
Yes.
Your picture?
My picture.
Okay.
Now this picture is actually taken in the little nature center they had. This was back in 1984, and
it's when I was born. Yeah.
I was looking at golden toads while you were being born. There's positive. There's positive both sides. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm here because of that, but so you saw it then. When did it?
It's it's hard to say when something disappears.
Yeah.
There's been a terrible decline in amphibians, especially frogs, in North America. At least I don't know about the rest of the world, North and South America. There's some disease that kill them off.
So we've got the golden toad.
The golden toad.
Is there any other extinct, or is that
no?
That's the most.
The golden toad and my Franklinia were the only things I've got on my list that were
all right.
That well, the golden toad. Nobody can top me on that. I mean, nobody born since whatever.
Yeah.
When they
1984.
Well, 1990. I don't think they went, but
right.
Nobody can find them anymore.
Now, did you have a line on where to find them? Like, was it a guide?
Well, the best you'll see that my photograph is taken in a terrarium.
So it was caught.
It was caught.
It was caught. Okay.
But it was caught. This is a friendly caught. This is just some nice Costa Rican naturalist guys hanging out in their little shed, which they called their nature center. And
wouldn't be comparable to like going to McGee Marsh Nature Center.
No,
not like
that.
All right. What's next?
Okay, so moving down the list, the red list to the critically endangered species. They're not extinct, but they're really threatened. They're really under pressure. And North Atlantic right whale. North Atlantic right whale. Who's seen that animal? How many are there, you say?
I did say that, yeah.
There may be 200 in the world? Maybe 200, 250?
And I'm looking at, okay, so, obviously the name suggests about where it's at.
Yeah,
But you saw it off of Nova Scotia?
Yes. Actually, I was on Tom and Laura Kemp's honeymoon. I was along on their honeymoon.
Of course you were.
It had been delayed. They had their wedding earlier, but that was delayed before they could take a trip up to the Northeast. And in those days, hey,
Okay.
just tag along.
Okay, all right.
They were well married and all that. That was all over.
The honeymoon.
The honeymoon was
The
over.
honeymoon was over.
Well, I guess if you go on the honeymoon, it's not over. Maybe I killed it.
It's a different vibe for Tom and Laura's.
It's the North Atlantic right whale, because there is a South Atlantic right whale, much more common.
Okay.
I saw a lot of those in
Australia, maybe?
South Africa. Cape Town.
Australia.
Cape Town. There, you just walk along the beach and you can look out there. There's
There they are.
the right whales jumping out of the water and standing on their heads and
Yeah.
goofing around. It's like amazing how many there are. They come into the harbors and they're right there. But the North Atlantic is because they were hunted so assiduously, so much hunting pressure during the whale hunting days. They were just driven down to just basically extinct, almost extinct, and they barely come back. How do I know I saw a North Atlantic right whale? Because whales spout in different ways, and North Atlantic right whales spout a V-shaped spout forward. And I saw that.
That's cool.
Now, of course, if some real whale expert calls up and says, "Oh no, there's 3 other species that do that,"
You're going to tell them to go.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that call. I didn't get that call. I like to believe that I saw one.
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in that.
And I think I did. On my list right now also is, for critically endangered, eastern black rhinoceros. Now there's still a lot of black rhinoceros around in like southern Africa. The rhinoceros have been hunted for their horn and for their meat, actually, also, but basically for their horn, almost to extinction, and then rebounded and then hunted again. There's very, very few black rhinos in East Africa. We're talking about Kenya, Tanzania. I think there are. Here's my latest number I have here is 583. That was a 2025 estimate. So,
Okay.
I was going. African penguin. That's a jackass penguin. You've never seen that?
I have no knowledge.
It's actually pretty common in zoos, and I know them well. I've had to kick them out of the way. Almost. You go to a restaurant down in Cape Town, and on the beach, and you'll come out, and the rule is the parking lot says, look under your car before you drive away to make sure there's no penguins under there.
In Cape Town, South Africa.
Cape Town, yes, because that's where they're at, and like so many rare animals, if you go to where they live, there's lots of them.
Right.
But it's when you go,
Right.
10 miles down the road,
Yeah.
there's zero.
And that goes along with your perspective on, it doesn't really make sense to chase down rare birds that are rare for your area. Just go to where they're
Go to where they're at.
Yeah.
You go to them
right.
rather than drive.
And watch them, pitter patter around your feet, kicking
And
penguins.
I've got great video. I'm going to put some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean like this.
Right there.
They're cute and noisy and smelly.
How big are they?
They're big guys. I mean, they're
Yeah.
like little skinny watermelons. They're like heavy little guys. I didn't pick any up. I did not pick any up. How many of those? There's about 20,000, give or take, but they are only this one small area, and they're endangered. Critically endangered. Okay, that's this category. Old world vultures as a group are endangered. there's some very common, there's particularly one very common drug that's given to cattle. What's it called? Which really it's like diclofenac. It does something good for cattle, but it does something bad for vultures. If that cow dies out in the fields of India or Africa or wherever, and the vultures eat it, they die. The residual drug in those carcasses kills them. And I've been to India just one time, to Goa, and I didn't get lucky to see the white-rumped vulture. And there are only about 3,000 to 5 or 6,000 of those animals left in the world. They used to be,
all over the place.
over the place. It's India. There are cattle and people and dogs dying everywhere, and it was vulture heaven. But no more. It's also that same drug is used in Africa, and the white-backed vulture and the rufous vultures in Kenya are both being affected by it. They're also being affected by people. Some of the vultures are used in, I hate to say it, but like primitive medicine, like the rhino horn. People want
They're actually hunting them.
they're hunting them and killing them.
For a frame of reference, so people, when I think of, birds of, vultures in like Africa, for example. Audrey went to the zoo the other day. About how big, I mean, these are bigger birds than what, a turkey vulture, a black vulture, right?
Vultures come in a lot of different sizes. But these particular ones, the white-backed and the rupals, they're man-sized wingspread. They're probably 6 feet.
They're good-sized birds.
Oh yeah, and they do feed in groups that are very scary looking when they're all jostling and tearing at something, and
intimidating.
It's great. You really feel like you've gone someplace and done something when you've got, you parked your Jeep by the buffalo kill of the lions have fed, and now they've wandered off to get a drink of water, and then the jackals and the vultures come in and so good.
All right.
Doesn't get better than that.
What's next?
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to have to, I've used up my critically endangered. I just have to go to ordinary endangered. Now, there's going to be some quibbling here. You're going to say, you wanted 10 rarest? Well, these are my rarest. I don't know.
Right.
Some people say, when I say whooping crane, they say, well, I've seen a whooping crane.
I've seen one.
That bird is, last count here I've got is from 2025, 557 birds.
Yeah. That's
Adults,
It's nothing.
So there's nothing. But it's so well managed. It's so well monitored. And they've split it into 2 different flocks. It's in Canada, United States. It's been downgraded from critically endangered to just merely endangered.
That's interesting that some things with higher numbers will still be up at a...
Oh, yeah, I didn't actually mention it, say those words. But these vultures in both India and Africa, these are some of the most numerous birds, in those areas. I mean, in those continents. Mm-hmm. And they have plunged 95%. Mm-hmm. They have dropped immensely.
Right.
So it's hard to balance those two ideas out. Something that's so rare as a whooping crane, but something that's still thousands of them, but they're headed straight to the toilet. They're going
right.
Grevy's
zebra.
There's 3 zebras out there: the common zebra, the mountain zebra. I've seen both of those, of course, and I love the mountain zebra. Anyway, I could tell you stories about mountain zebras. Grevy's is probably the best. It's the big one. It's more like a donkey than a horse. And it's got little fine stripes. And it lives in the drier areas of northern Kenya and let's see, what my count? My count. Last count, 3,000. So for a beautiful big animal that's in,
Right.
and basically, Kenya used to be very protected. I don't know what's going on in the parks these days, but
But are we talking about hunting being the main issue?
yeah, poaching, probably for meat or, and also these Kenya and Tanzania and these places, they are developing. They're bringing in more roads and more wheat and more sheep and things, and they, they need to. You can't. Can you blame people for trying to make a living?
No.
Giant otter.
That one we've talked about.
We've talked about that one.
Quite a bit. And,
Do we put video out of that one?
Yeah, we've got to
Okay,
put,
put
put the video in there.
Little tiny snippet because you
Yeah.
can't see too many.
Yeah.
6,000 probably in South America, and they're very common common in comparison. One of their strongholds is the Mato Grosso where I saw them. So, great animal.
But only saw one.
I only saw one.
Common, but I mean, yeah, obviously you were there for a relatively short time.
Yeah, that whole trip, that whole Brazil trip, I think was maybe 12 or 14 days.
But if you lived in the region, you probably would see those.
Yes, and again, if they would be living in the area also. So I presume we were taken on the river by boatmen that live in that area. They probably had a good idea if we went down this river or this branch of the river
Where they'd be.
at this time of day,
Right.
that the tourists would be happy.
Your next, well, actually, no, not your next one.
No, the next one. Oh, this one.
How do we pronounce that?
Well, I pronounce that Samang.
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 See, now they're every animal so far, I have an idea of what the animal is and what it looks like. I don't even know what kingdom the Samang belongs to.
It is an ape.
Okay.
It's one of the lesser apes. It's like a big gibbon.
Okay.
And I mean, you could argue. I mean, yes, it's a gibbon. You could argue it's a gibbon, but it's bigger, and it lives in the. I saw mine in the Genting Highlands. We were in Malaysia, and you're driving up to the lowlands where it's really hot, up to the highlands, where the Brits used to go in the rainy season to get up away from the heat and whatever, and driving along the road, and Bob was driving, and we look off. This is a jungle. The roadway, it drops off. It's jungle on our side, but it drops away, and there's jungle across the valley. And out in the middle of the valley, just a branch of the trees out there, hanging by one arm, just hanging there. This is a big ape. Not as big as a orangutan, but bigger than gibbon, and
Right.
black.
Yeah.
And he was hanging there. We stopped, looked at him, admired him for a while. He looked at us, and yeah,
That's who I am. Yeah.
we bonded.
There's a moment.
Okay, here's one that people that are listening will have seen.
It has been featured on previous episodes.
Black
Yes.
rail.
Yes.
And that was, it's an endangered species. It's very widely scattered. It's breeding in North America, I guess. I saw mine at Irwin Prairie back in 1980.
I was going to say 1980. I'm pretty
You-
sure
you
that's the year.
See,
Yes.
you're a younger naturalist. I
I've
was there, but I can hardly remember.
yeah. I mean, I've heard you talk about it, and then Chris and Elliot were there. You had them come out. And,
I called them for confirmation.
Right.
It was so rare. I like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, and I had not seen it at the time. I was identifying it by call alone, which in 1980 was kind of I was proud of myself for doing that.
Now, here's one thing. You've got a range here of 10 to 50,000, and one of the things that you had initially was, how do you determine whether something is rare or not? That range is, I imagine, so big because that bird is almost
Nobody-
impossible to do.
Yeah, that fall. I mentioned that some
Fences on 'em.
animals are rare because they're hard to find
Yeah.
and seldom seen.
Right.
And if you have to go out at night with a flashlight and crawl around in the
Nobody wants
sedges.
to do that.
the researchers can find them at the best spots.
Right.
So that they can go out in the salt marshes of Maryland or the hay fields of Texas in the winter or whatever it is whatever they do, but they're not very common.
No.
Quite. Oh, Amazon river dolphin. Oh, flipper. Oh, a little South American flipper. They're pink, purple kind of things.
Looks different though. I mean,
Oh,
it's kind of an odd looking thing.
Oh, it is odd. It's an odd animal. Lives in the rivers of. I saw it in one of the tributaries of the Orinoco. The Orinoco River. That's not quite the same as the Amazon, but it's Orinoco. It's still good. Enya, the singer Enya, has a song called about the Orinoco.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I gotta find that.
Yeah.
I'll play that.
Well,
I'll play that. Little Enya.
Yeah.
Okay. So I ran out of endangered. Now I've got to go to things that are really pretty common, but
So whooping crane, I think, is the only animal so far. Is that the other list?
yeah.
Yeah, because everything else was kind of more international.
Africa, India,
So whooping crane,
black rail.
and black rail. But I
Where do you
have
s-
seen.
Where do you see black rail?
Oh no, not black rail. Whooping crane
And three wattled bellbird.
I have seen a three wattled bellbird, and that was near. It was at a place called El Tapir in Costa Rica.
Is that Spanish for the taper?
The taper. It is Spanish for the taper. Yes.
I figured that out.
I didn't see any taper. You've seen
I'm very-
tapers, right?
I've seen taper.
Yeah, I have not seen a taper.
Tapers.
Anyways, bellbirds.
Yeah, and you know it's vulnerable. That's what the red book says. It's vulnerable. I'm sure its range is so limited. It's probably what the problem is there. They don't know exactly. They say 3,600 to 14,000. You know, we see these big ranges. It's like I don't know.
And kind of a secretive bird.
Well, you obviously hear them. You're on a trail and wherever, and you hear this thing off around the edge of the mountain. It's like
Right.
you don't really
You don't
know
know where they're at.
what they're at or how many
Yeah.
there are there or whatever.
Right. Snowy albatross.
Yeah, that's apparently the better name for wandering. What we used to call the wandering albatross.
Okay.
The bird with the largest wing spread.
This is a recent name change.
I don't know when it changed. These taxonomists
Yeah.
change things, and I don't pay attention.
That's an old conversation for us here at the Old Naturalist.
I'm happy to. If they want to call it snowy, fine. But we all know it's the wandering albatross, and it is a dramatic, wonderful bird to see it when you're off on a pelagic offshore of. I've seen it off of South Africa. Have I seen it off of Australia?
I think you and Tom, I thought, saw one off of a pelagic off of. I could be wrong.
Yeah. You know, Brandon, you get old, it blurs together. Your memories become. They're golden memories. They're wonderful memories, but it's all one sort of a mist of.
Meld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the man I am today, which is kind of a failure. But anyway.
Now we I don't know about that, but we have come to the end of our list because we've got Frank Linnea here. So I have to wrap it up, unless you have anything else that you want to touch on.
No.
Okay. Look at this list one more time,
Yes.
and out of all of these animals and or the plant,
The one little plant.
one little plant, what's your favorite?
Oh, that is tough. I mean, the golden toad is a wonderful, charismatic thing that's extinct.
Right.
But I like the Grevy zebra. The Grevy zebra
Okay.
he's like a donkey with stripes. He's so cute. And they're big. They're big and he's great.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you decide to go somewhere,
You can see Grevy zebra. Go to northern Kenya
Yeah.
and drive out into the bush along the Waso and Gero River and keep your eyes peeled for big zebras.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've done it again. You've wasted another. I don't know how long this one's going to be. It feels something longish.
I think we should cut. We should just cut something else entirely, and we could be secrets. Oh, we have a premium membership
a subscription.
and if you paid $2.99 each to each of us, you can get the species we've left out. The very best species that
we would get 3 subscriptions. You and I subscribing to our own show, and my mother. So yeah.
our fan.
That's right. Well, hope you enjoyed the episode and get out there and explore the world. Maybe you can see something rare.
Right.
We'll see you next time on the Old Naturalist, everybody.
Bye for now.